Okay, today we are playing a game on Junkertown. We are in the Platinum SR range, and we will be playing Lucio on attack, and D.Va and Reinhardt on defense. Now, our current team composition is Winston, McCree, Hanzo, Widowmaker, Ana, and Lucio. So we've only got one tank, which is, you know, less than ideal. And it's the kind of team comp where you'd really like to have a Reinhardt or Narissa, because we've got McCree and Ana, who are not really going to be getting around too much, so having a shield for them would be really nice, but, you know, we got a Winston. That's what we got. So we'll just have to kind of deal with that. So, anyway, let's start the game. Right at the beginning, immediately, don't use Amp It Up out of the gate, because it's not a very good use of company resources, because we used a 12-second cooldown to move our team about 5 feet. So, doesn't really get us that much. We got there like 0.1 seconds faster, and now we don't have that, like, the important cooldown for Lucio for 12 seconds. So, don't do that. Generally, amping it up out of the gate is very rarely ever worth it. My friend will argue with me about this, but she can fight me, that it's worth using it on King of the Hill maps, because the maps are symmetrical, so if you get there first, you're in a better position. I'd rather just have Amp It Up when the fight starts, to be honest with you, rather than a few seconds into the fight, but that's me. So, the only time it's really worth using Amp It Up out of the gate to me is if, like, it's in overtime, we gotta get back or we're gonna lose the game. And even then, Lucio can do a lot of cool wall riding stuff to get places faster anyway. So even then, Amp It Up out of the gate's not really worth it most of the time. Especially not on a map like this, where we are moving truly like 10 feet. So, are we healing anybody right now? Because we don't want to be in the Healy aura unless we have to be. I guess we're assuming Winston's going to jump back to us, which, you know, is fair enough. But then he gets killed by Reaper. Where's Reaper? Did Reaper just, like, wing him from really far away and kill him? Where is Reaper? Because, you know, that's Reaper. That's Reaper. Okay, there he is. I was like, if Reaper's behind us, that's concerning, but no, he killed him from over there. But, simultaneously though, we did see Reaper in the vicinity of the doorway to this building. I'm drawing on the wrong window. In the vicinity of the doorway to this building. So, we can assume that in the near future, Reaper is going to flank us from the left-hand side. Because that's the doorway he was hovering around a second ago. So he's probably going to do it again. There he goes. There he goes. He tried it, and he's wraith-formed away. He'll probably try it again, because that's the easiest way to get behind the attacking team on this map. So I'm expecting to try it again. And I already can't see him near this doorway anymore. Right? Nope. Can't see Reaper around here anymore. He was near this doorway a second ago, and now he's not. So, yep, there he is. He's killing McCree upstairs. Reaper players are very predictable this way. Yeah, most flankers are. So I don't think we're healing anybody right now. I'm pretty sure everybody's at full health right now. We don't really turn around to look, but Ana just threw the grenade on us. I'm pretty sure we're full health right now, so we should have been in the speed boost sooner than that. There's a fight happening in here, so that's fair enough. Got a little bit stuck on the doorway, unfortunate, but we got out. So we want to be in the speedy time aura as much as possible, because that's kind of like Lucio's thing. This is true of all the healers, really, where, like, if you can avoid healing and doing anything else, you kind of want to be. So here, we're trying to, like, chase after these guys, and nobody really needs healing right now, so if we're trying to chase people, we should change to the speed aura to try and run them down. But we stayed in the healing aura a little bit longer. Anna's also alive right now, so we can kind of assume that she's gonna do some healing, you know? In an ideal world, anyway. The moral of the story is basically, we want to be in the speedy aura as much as physically possible. That's the strong thing about Lucio, the speed aura. right there. Could have been in the speed aura sooner than that. You know, we're waiting for the door to open, so unlikely to make much difference, but it can. It's one of those things where, like, if you're using the healing aura, but it's not actually healing anybody, because it's everybody's at full health, that's the same as just having no aura at all. So, the speed aura is doing something always, as long as it's touching somebody, and it's always touching you, if nothing else. So, we've got sound barrier now. They've got a Reaper. Well, yeah, they're not sure they still have the Reaper, actually. We haven't seen him for a little while. They have a Widowmaker, it looks like. Yep, she's dead now. Okay. They didn't a minute ago, so did Reaper change to Widowmaker? Push tab more often. We'd know. We'd know if we push tab more often. Use sound barrier to keep Reinhardt alive, which is fair enough. Amp it up to heal him while he's under the shields. All classic stuff. So they have a Hanzo and a Widow now, it looks like. Generally, good advice. Just push tab a lot so you can see what your team's ults are at, because that's important information for everybody. Some people more than others. We could be in the healing, the speed aura during this entire time. It's for some people more than others. Anna and Zarya, who has their ultimates, is of particular interest to you, but everybody kind of wants to know that. So just push tab more often. So here, back it up again. In the healing aura, don't need to be. Not actually healing anybody right now. We just, right now, heard Hanzo use the dragon. Don't know where it's coming from, so even if we were, like, healing chip damage right now, kind of just want to be in speed aura so we can get out of the way of the dragon as soon as we figure out where it's coming from. Didn't make any difference in this situation, but it can make a difference. Speedy aura, always. That boy's fucking dead. He was way out of position. Not healing anybody right now, we're healing ourselves, so fair enough now. Oh, a lot of snipers up there, a lot of snipers. Now, we are playing Lucio, so if we're feeling particularly brave, we can go up there and harass those people. Not even particularly brave, people struggle to hit Lucio all the way up to fucking, like, Grandmasters, honestly. It's just Lucio, man. You see the froggy boy jumping around, you're like, I can't hit him. I can't do it. He's got too many hops. Too fast. Also, the way it always upsets me trying to shoot at a Lucio. We should not be, we should just be going back to our spawn right now. We shouldn't be this far up, because we're just risking death, which is exactly what came for us. The thing that upsets me when you're trying to shoot at Lucio is you notice how, when he jumps off the wall sometimes, his model, super elongates in the middle, because I mean, Overwatch does stretch and squash all the time, which is why if you, look at the highlighted intros, you can see some very unfortunate frames in there where, McCree's roll, his face is, 12 times longer. So, Lucio, when he's trying to be all hoppy and animated, he, suddenly super elongates. But it seems like the hitbox doesn't really stretch that much to match it, so it gets really awkward to shoot Lucio sometimes. I don't know if that's actually the case, but I swear to God, when he's turned into an elastic man, the hitbox does not elasticate with him. It's entirely possible that I'm just bad, which I also know to be true at the same time, so McCree's going up there to get Widowmaker, and she's fucking dead. Now he's using Deadeye. I wouldn't recommend performing that maneuver as a McCree, but hey, he did it. We should be on the speed aura right now. We're not really healing anybody, and we want to, kill that guy as much as possible, as quickly as possible. So we should really just be, running after him. If you're trying to, chase after people to stagger them, then just change the speed aura unless, someone is gonna die if you don't heal them. Because, getting the stagger on the person is, a really big deal in Overwatch. But, yeah, basically the moral of the story is be in speedy time as much as possible. The email did specifically request lots of detail as to what we're doing wrong. And not necessarily lots of detail so far, but, a lot of the same thing. So hopefully the point comes across, I like to repeat myself a good 8,000 times per episode. That's just who I am. Someone the other day asked if requested if I would be as nitpicky as physically possible, and I was like, I'll do it, but there will be, I don't know if you know what you're getting yourself into, because there's going to be a lot of me repeating myself, which I do at the best of times. What's the point of making a point if I can't make the same point like 9 times? There's no point at all. Don't worry, that's just the video, it's not you. Video does that in that spot. Anyway, fight happening. So they just use sound barrier, we use sound barrier in response, that's fair enough. Reinhardt's low health, so obviously that seems like the perfect time to charge to him. What other time? We are trying to run away right now, because we've obviously lost this fight. You actually move slightly slower going backwards. You move at 90% speed going backwards, rather than 100% speed. So if we're just trying to run away from people like this, we should just turn tail and run. This is also why if you're like backing up away from Reinhardt, it feels like Reinhardt always catches up to you, because he is actually moving slightly faster than you are if you're running backwards. So there's a tip for you. If you're getting run down by Reinhardt, actually turn tail and run away from him, unless you think you can kill him. Because otherwise he will catch up to you. Oh, dragon got us. You know, sometimes you're just standing around having a good time with your friends and a dragon comes through the fucking wall and devours you. You know, that's just life. 2 dragons, in fact, come through the wall and devour you. That's just life. We've all had it happen to us at least sometime. So, fight's still going well in our absence. We decided to go around this way. I think that took longer than if we had just gone around the other way. Especially since there were more walls for us to ride going forward. We aren't actually riding a lot of walls. Though the map, the first checkpoint's a little bit awkward. It's one of those things where, like, Lucio... People are not really accustomed to shooting things on walls, so if you can be on... And you're moving faster when you're on the wall. So just, like, hanging out on the walls as Lucio usually makes you harder to hit. And you're way faster as well. You just want to kind of try and make use of your character's full range of movement, if at all possible, you know? You can get places faster. Here's a tip with you for Lucio wall riding. When you jump off a wall, it gives you a burst of speed in the direction that you're looking. So if you want to get... So if you, like, look up when you jump off a wall, it actually accelerates you slightly up, so you can get more lift. Or if you, like, you know, 45-degree up, you'll go slightly further because of trajectory. So... It does actually, like, thrust you off the wall slightly in the direction you're looking. So you can get some extra distance if you angle your view correctly. I don't think we're close enough to block for her. I like the thought... No, it doesn't look like it, because those bullets went past, didn't they? She's either just out or just in. No, that didn't get eaten. We're not actually in range of her. I like the thought, but we weren't close enough. Just slightly, it looks like. It's kind of hard to tell with Defense Matrix. You know, it gives you the meter indicators on the side, but, like, who the fuck's eyeballing distance in this game in meters, right? Anyway, so I'm not a huge fan of just jumping down right on top of these people, because D.Va's a big ol' spongy person. Big ol' spongy girl inside of her mech, which makes it really easy for her to just, like, die when you do stuff like that. I saw somebody go up the staircase on the right-hand side, and I was trying to see if they were ever going to reappear. I don't know who it is. Anyway, I don't really want to just, like, jump down right on top of these people right now, because we're just jumping down right on top of the enemy team on the payload, right? So, we're just super more likely to die. We can hang out up here and just shoot down at these people, and then let Reinhardt, the actual main tank, go down when he wants to, right? And then when we're hanging out up here, it's McCree. I think that's McCree anyway. And then we can do stuff like hang out up there, shoot down at these people, and, like, support as much as possible. And then do what we're really good at, and go and kill these people who are, like, off by themselves from the team. And if not actually kill them, at least harass them, drop them low, and, like, take aggro. Basically, take aggro off of our team, right? Whereas instead of doing that, we just jump down on top of these people, and then they all go, oh, well, fucking big old mech D.Va just jumped down on top of the payload, let's get her. We lose our mech super fast. And now we have to build it back up again before we can really be a hero. Whereas we could have just been like, Hanzo just killed 2 people. We could have just been hanging out on the high ground, shooting down at them, and then jumping on these people, like the high priority DPS targets, like Hanzo and the Widowmaker that they have as well. And then maybe some of these people would still be alive. You know, we'll never know. Happened in a parallel universe, but all the same. So we got back in our mech. We've immediately lost our mech again. A lot of people on our team are dead right now, so we should actually just be waiting for them to regroup before we go back in, really. And then we do just, like, bodily thrust ourselves through the entire enemy team, and they just go, oh, well, here comes Big Mech D.Va again. Let's just shoot her, right? So we've already been kind of an ult battery for the enemy team. Like, Hanzo probably has his ultimate by this point. He's dead now. Widowmaker killed him, so it doesn't matter. Getting into a scuffle with their Lucio, trying to keep Mercy alive, managed to drive him away. A little bit of a scary place to get in the mech, seeing as Widow just shot at us, but we got away with it. So we got back in our mech, and now we're right back out of our mech again. So we're almost 2 minutes into this game right now, and we haven't been a hero basically this entire time because we've constantly been out of mech. So that's bad. That's bad. Like, our team has been more or less playing 5v6 this entire time. So now we're going to change to Reinhardt instead. Because our Reinhardt changed. So, to Anna. Fair enough. So just like, no more D.Va play is going to happen, so I'm just going to talk about this now. With D.Va, like, it's really easy to be an ult battery for the enemy team. You're very big, you're very easy to kill, and when you dive into people, you're not as safe when you do that as somebody like Winston is instead, because, I say somebody like Winston, there's nobody else like Winston, you get the idea. You're not as safe when Winston does it, because Winston has the bubble, which protects him in a full 360 degrees around him, right? While you're still fighting people, whereas D.Va has to use Defense Matrix, which is really low duration, only in front of her, and only projectiles. So, I shouldn't say only projectiles, also hits, like, not beams, is basically what, it doesn't protect you from beams. So it's a lot more limited than Winston's bubble is. It's really good at what it does, like, it's really good at things Winston's bubble isn't, but it's not very good at protecting D.Va when she dives in, right? So, when you dive in on people as D.Va, you've got to be really careful when you decide to do that. Because you're big, you're easy to hit, you don't have any protection. It's very easy for them to just turn and focus you down and then break your mech very quickly. Especially because, like, she has a really big crit box. So if you're diving into somebody like Hanzo, it really doesn't take long to get you out of mech. Especially if there's other people there to help him. So you've really got to pick your time to go in as D.Va. Which is like, basically, D.Va's really good at picking on an isolated target and just exploding the person really quickly, because D.Va does a lot of burst damage when she first goes in on somebody. Because you're flying in towards the person, you're firing the missiles, you're left-clicking, and then you physically hit them with your body with the shift, right? So, like, going in on the person, you can reliably do, like, 100 to 150 damage if you don't just kill the person outright. So, she's really good at killing isolated and out-of-position targets. So, you really don't want to just, like, fling yourself into the entire enemy team unless you've got other people going with you, right? Like, if you're playing with a Winston as well, then, like, Winston goes in, you follow the Winston in, both tank, like, you can protect the Winston with Defense Matrix, Winston can protect you with the bubble. Great times, much synergy, wow. And then their attention is split between the two dive tanks, right? So you're more free to do it in that kind of position. But when it's just you as D.Va, you've really gotta pick your time when you go in, or you'll just get exploded and lose your mech immediately. So you usually want to just kind of like hang out, and like hanging out on like high ground isn't that bad as D.Va, because you can shoot down at people with your shotguns. Yeah, you're not doing a lot of damage, but like you're hitting them in the head. Like if it's like Junkertown, you're not that far away from them, you're still doing like pretty decent damage even though they're shotguns, right? Like they're like, they don't want to get shot if at all possible, and you just like fill time until you can find something to do, right? You can just kill time and like shoot people, generate some ult charge, harass them a little bit, stop shields from regenerating, that kind of thing, and then when you find your time to go in, you go in. So anyway, we're on the Reinhardt section of the game now. So, amazingly enough, we actually haven't lost a checkpoint yet. So we kill Hanzo because we're in a great... He's just right there. We're in a great position to kill him. Did not need to try and charge this guy. We could have just kept smacking him. He is getting healed by Anna, but there's a clever switch. There's a clever fix to that, right? Anna's somewhere over there. That's a bad color to use on this map. This one. Anna's somewhere over there. So if we just move, like here, suddenly she can't hit McCree because we're in between her and McCree, and then McCree dies. Like, McCree's gonna die. And even if we just, like, keep hitting him, we got Fire Strike up, we just keep hitting him, we'll probably get him regardless. But we can also just, like, block the Anna healing him, and then, try and kill him. He ended up getting a big old shield on him from Lucio's sand barrier, which complicates matters, but we didn't need to try and pin him. We could have just kept smacking the dude. It's very hard to actually pin someone when they're, like, right on top of you, just because the pin hitbox gets really awkward. If it's, like, a squishy target, and you're right on top of the person, it's almost always better to just try and hit the guy to death, because it doesn't exactly take a lot of swings, and that's guaranteed. Whereas, if you miss the pin, you can end up just saving the person instead. So, if it's a squishy target, you're almost always better off just hitting the guy if you're right on top of him. The boiler has decided to kick into turbo, so apologies for the sudden background noise, but it is decided to be loud suddenly. So we just Earth Shatter the Reinhardt right there. Did we hit anybody else with it? I think it was just Reinhardt we hit. We wanted to try and hit Lucio with it as well. Alright, fair enough. I think I would have been okay with it, even with just the Reinhardt and that, like, but tried to also get the Lucio, so fair enough. Spooky, McCree was hiding over there in the closet, tried to kill some people, didn't work out for him. I might have been okay with it if it was just the Reinhardt as well. Just because we are trying to stabilize more than anything else right there. But we were trying to get Lucio as well, which is fair enough. We missed the Lucio because, I mean, you know, Lucio's a squirrely fox. A squirrely foxy frog, so hard to hit him. So suddenly they have a lot of tanks on their team, don't they? They have a lot of big beefy boys. Oh no, this is bad. Oh, well, yeah, you know, that went better than expected. Sometimes you try and pin a guy and you're like, well, that wasn't what I wanted, but I'll take it. You know, sometimes you just randomly pin the mercy. We got nano boosted, could just kind of keep fighting those people. All good times. Widow's dead. I don't think anybody can physically make it back in time. Nope, Winston's managed to do it. He's all by his lonesome. Here comes the dragons. And then we did it. We did it. Hooray. Hooray. You see play of the game? No, we don't see play of the game. How sad. How sad. We can look at the recommended videos and see how good we're doing today. I don't know who this person is, but I do watch speedruns, so okay. No interest in Magic the Gathering at all. But I follow Day9, who does Magic the Gathering stuff, so I guess the algorithm's just like, hey, he likes Magic the Gathering. Nope, never actually watched one of those videos, but hey. The Verdict, Tesla Powerwall, and Solar Review after 6 months. Alright, don't know where the fuck that one's come from, but, you know, I guess it's there. I still don't know who this is. Still, to this day. I probably watched as some kind of Legend of Zelda speedrun, and it's like, Legend of Zelda. There we go. That one. That one. And I follow Jim Sterling. So, I've already watched this video, but I mean, it's right. I do like Jim Sterling. So it's not wrong. It's not wrong. Algorithm, as always, is a little bit on the fucked up side, but sort of on the right track simultaneously. So things that stood out the most in this game: speed as much as physically possible. You want to be in speed by default. You need a reason to change to the healing aura, not a reason to change to the speed aura. Just speedy fast boys. And D.Va, pick your time to go in more. We spent basically the whole time we were playing as D.Va as baby D.Va. So we were not a hero the entire, like, first half of that round. And we still won the round. So, I mean, hey, it worked out, right? But gotta be real careful when you go in as D.Va. And there you go. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us, and I hope you found the video helpful.